discussion and sharing experience.
So as my colleague has just said, time has now come for questions or comments or contribution, and we'll try as much as possible to provide you with the most relevant answers. So the floor now is yours for any question, any comment, any contribution that you have. Thank you.
You can testify to the experience in the group.
Yeah, they can make contributions about the experience while they are living. Thank you.
That's right. I think you can probably hear me anyway. I'll speak loud. It's not necessary. My question is, would you know anything about what the feed-in tariffs are for renewable energy in Benin? Solar, particularly.
Yeah, thank you for this question. Concerning solar energy in Benin, I would say that it's also a priority for the government. After the COP21 conference, the focus now is on green technologies, and the government is working to attract companies in this sector. But in the short term, the focus is on thermal power plants because of the crisis that we are going through. Not that solar energy projects are excluded, but the government wants to decrease the rate of power outage in the country in the short term. Concerning solar energy, there are projects, there are promoters who are interested in going to the country. But to go into this field, you need to discuss with the Energy Regulation Authority I talked about earlier on in the presentation. They are the ones who can explain in detail the policy of the government of Benin, because there is, as I say, a focus on thermal power plants, but there are also solar, hydroelectric energy, and other kind of energies. So the government wants to solve the crisis in the short term right now, but there is a room, there's a possibility to develop also solar energy. But the embassy will make sure, if you are interested, that you meet the right person. That's why we hope. We hope that there will be many of you participating in the business trip next year. That will be easier for you to have hands-on information concerning your sector. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Just to give you more information, I'm in Benin during my summer holiday, and I had a meeting with the director of renewable energy in Benin. He was a very amazing guy. We had a lunch together, and he explained all what I was looking for. And I had questions like that. I sent my questions, and my first day there, I said, good evening, this is your answer. Okay. And after that, so we can just start to make a joke. I said, okay. So I told I would spend 2 weeks here, but if I got my answer already, I can go back to Denmark. So I said, no, we have a lunch tomorrow together. It's easy to have a contact with them. If you organize your trip, I got a connection from an embassy here, and you organize your trip, you come there, you will meet the right person, you will get the right answer, and you can just start your business after. But they have a focus on solar energy. Solar energy, no matter what we say, you cannot live without that. It's the only one thing we have free.
Was one of your questions, by any chance, what the feed-in tariffs are at current time? Was one of your questions to the Ministry of Energy,
The director.
With the director, yeah, what the feed-in tariffs are at current time?
My feeling?
No, the feed-in tariffs for solar energy within the country. Yeah. Did he answer that? Was that one of your questions?
The interest was big.
Okay.
Very big. And because he said to me, we don't know the price of oil tomorrow, but what we know, we will have a sun tomorrow. So, and he said, after I said, we import energy from our neighboring country, but we have a sun here. and we have a space here. I got a space. He said, if you want to start, I have a place here, so you can start there. We want it. It's because they want it. It's not like a normal thermal energy they are thinking about, but renewable energy, they want it. And as soon as you come, so you will have a meeting with director and executive people on that matter. So for me, it's a thing that they want it. And if it was some kind else, so you can be sent to other people there. But in renewable energy, you come to meet with the director.
Right. Thank you.
I want to precise that the renewable energy is, we have a huge program of renewable energy in our country. So we miss to present the details here, but we need you to go in the need. We need the team to have more details. One thing we can answer to you is the technical information about the renewable energy. And if you have the possibility to do as like Mr. Keita, you can have more and more details on it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Keita, and thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your contribution. The interest is quite high concerning renewable, and we do hope that living energy will contribute to solving the energy crisis in Benin. Any other question or comment or contribution?
Yeah, I had more or less the same question in regards to contacts, so now I know who to go to for the contacts. I'll continue.
Any question more?
For the business trip next year, is it a Danida funded trip as well with 75% subsidies from Danida? Is it a Danida business trip, or is it just organized by you?
No, it's a business trip organized by the embassy with the assistance of Nordico.
Mm-hmm.
The representative of Nordico is here to come preside. I left him the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, and thanks a lot for the collaboration. So it's a collaboration that we have between us and the embassy. We hope to make it as cost efficient as we would be able to do if there was a direct contribution. But of course, this is a reminder of everybody who's interested that in March, that's when we were planning to do. That's the overall plan, to have the trip back.
As you know, Nordicon has already done this business trip to other countries in Africa, like Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Uganda.
A number, yes.
Ghana is the last one.
Yes.
So you are welcome. The next month.
Any other question or comment or contribution, ladies and gentlemen? So, there seem to be no more questions.
In French.
Okay.
You are able to speak in French.
Yeah?
What are the local loan facilities with your banks setting up business in your country?
Yeah. Getting loans is also a major issue. I think this issue has been tackled by the doing business reports. It's quite easy to get loans today in Benin because of the incentives and because of the existence of many commercial banks and the possibility to solve insolvency in the country. In the past, it was not that easy, but with the new reforms introduced by the government of Benin, it's quite easy to settle the issue of insolvency, which gives more credit and put banks into confidence whenever you want to get loans from them. So it's quite easier today to get loans to establish business. And I would say that the government of Benin is supporting this move because the priority is on the private sector. We want to grow, we want to help the private sector to grow, both domestic and foreign investors to be in the country and create jobs and help transfer technology and knowledge. So then it's easier now, as I was saying, to get loans in order to start or operate in Benin.
And in about loan, if you are investing in Benin, which is using a CFA in this money organization, if your investment is country, part of priority in the country, like the Mr. T just explained, and your investment amount is over something like 100 million Danish kroner, which is a lot of money for local bank. So you can get more money from a safer organization from 20% and up after. You can loan there, and then you can get the participation in your business as well. It's just to make money problem not more painful than it is.
Thank you.
Mr. Ambassador?
Yeah.
Maybe I could say that I come from Børnefonden, and we have co-organized this meeting, and we can't do business, but we actually have 120 employees in Benin, and know Benin quite well, because we have been there for 25 years, and do some businesses or do work together with some Danish business. And from my point of view, it's quite obviously that Danish companies who has the engagement, of course also the money, should be aware of there's a local community and local people who will really engage to do a difference in their life. What many Danish companies, I've been working for the Confederation of Danish Companies for 70 years, what I've been worked with in that period was that often went into a country and then they forget we need skilled labor, we need skilled employees. And in that connection, Børnefonden can be training, vocational training, and we do that very often in some of our other countries, and also in Benin. Just to emphasize, just looking for establishment or make a plan or whatever, you need skilled employees. What we urge to say all the time is that we need a little time, to develop the skills. And we know for a lot of big projects in Africa that often people or companies go into a country and then they forget about the communities, they forget about the people. I guess Aifu could talk a little about Letukana in Kenya, but I mean, it's not just to make an investment, you also need to take the local communities into consideration. And in that matter, Børnefonden, especially in Benin, through our long history there, are more than willing to do work together with you. For the moment, we have a big project together with FAC, doing a project in some of our communities, but it has to start with what are you there for, and what are you aiming at, what is the purpose. And then we are more than willing together with the embassy and of course also our local people in Benin, to make contact as well together with the embassy. Because like here in Denmark, network and make relationship is the most important thing. And 120 people in Benin, they always know someone who knows someone. And that is actually what it's all about when you do businesses. So what I can give you as a kind of guarantee is that we would be more than willing to help you if you are interested in Benin.
Thank you very much, CEO.
I want to use this occasion to thank formally the CEO of Børnefonden. Børnefonden is present in our country more than 20 years, I think. 25 years. And they work in several sectors, social sectors, education, health, and we work for the welfare of our population, Benin population. On the behavior of the government, I need to thank you most sincerely. You and FALC Society, who is represented here, is the thank you very much for what you are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, give speech to the ambassador for his
There are no more additional questions or comments.
No, we spent
There
the 20 time.
is a question.
Maybe if you want to say something, we don't have to.
Yes.
It was a question about, you mentioned, I think, 190 projects, right, in the program.
Yeah.
Could you please give more details on what those were, the sectors, like some of the more prominent or, let's say, more strategic or priority investments, and exactly how, the private sector could tie into it?
Yeah. I will say, to answer your question, that the government of Benin, which came to office in April 2016, has identified a number of sectors, priority sectors, where it wants to put massive investment together with private investors. And those sectors include agriculture, energy, tourism, digital economy, infrastructure and services. So those are the main sectors where investment will be made during the 5-year period from 2016 to 2021. And among the projects, you can see there are a number of them which are on the way, but they are not being completed normally because of some issues. So there need to be more investment, more funding in order to complete those projects. But apart from those projects, there are new ones which will be developed, which will be implemented during the period. And there are 45 that we call flagship projects. Those are really the ones the government of Benin want to put forward as